Zart.
I thought it was you. I served in the Mandalorian Wars with you. You're a Jedi, right?
Oh, someone from the past. You look familiar too.
I was one of the ground troops. We fought on Daggery Minor together. It was near the beginning of the war. We didn't win that battle.
I remember Daggery Minor.
Enough of the past. The whole galaxy isn't safe for Jedi now, especially here. Onderon has suffered through 3 wars started by fallen Jedi. Do you still serve the Republic?
Not directly anymore, but I try and lend a hand when I'm able.
That's the first good news I've had in months. I was sent by the Republic Senate to investigate certain delicate matters that are happening on Onderon. It's worse than we feared. I have to get to Coruscant to deliver my report. But days before I was planning to leave, they started requiring starport visas.
Why is it... Oh. Why is it so important if one world secedes from the Republic?
After the Jedi Civil War, the Republic was weak, and the cost to the Jedi Order was staggering. This entire region is unstable, and the entire Republic government could collapse. If Onderon secedes, other worlds may follow, and that can't be allowed to happen.
Why not?
Trade between our worlds has brought economic prosperity, and people just take it for granted. All worlds are now interconnected. The Senate also smooths over differences, and is a great instrument for peace. If the Republic falls apart, 1,000 little wars born out of petty rivalries will erupt over time. Eventually, the entire galaxy could be thrown into a dark age.
What were you doing here?
I really can't say. The most I will say is stay clear of General Vaklu. His ambition knows no bounds. I believe the people of Isis are absolutely correct. A civil war is brewing, and Vaklu may very well win if I can't get to Coruscant in time.
Interesting. Okay, so he's kind of not a spy per se, but very much an information collector, it sounds like. Actually, I'd like to talk to you about Captain Cilio's murder.
What do you want to know about that night?
But so far, this guy is sounding like the guy I might give spare visa to. We'll see. An acquaintance of mine, Dagon Gent, is being held by the authorities. I'm trying to get him free.
Dagon Gent didn't do it.
How can you be sure?
Because he was with me at the time.
Why didn't you tell the authorities?
It's quite simple. Right now, he's accused of murder. If he's convicted, the sentence is death. If he's accused of espionage, let's say assisting a Republic spy, then the penalty for that is death. I'm afraid the Onderonians are quite fond of their death penalty. So if I stood up for him, he'd be trading one death sentence for another. I was with Dagon in his office at the time of the murder. He definitely wasn't involved with her murder.
Gotcha. I don't suppose anybody else saw you.
We were taking great pains not to be seen, which has a certain irony to it, really. If you can free him, please do. He's been invaluable with his help to the Republic. I only wish there was something I could do to help him.
Assuming we get Dagon free, we're going to have a few private words about this. Together, we fought against the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars.
I don't particularly like the idea that he's working for them now.
Interesting. And that sounded so much like Canderous right there. He didn't have the voice modulation of his helmet. I'll be going now. Thank you for your help. But we still don't have an alibi. Okay. Oh, Riken says that Dagon had a motive for committing the murder, and that he also found at the scene of the crime. In order to get him free, he needed to investigate the crime at the cantina near Dagon's office. Okay, but we know he didn't have a motive. He liked the captain, and he wasn't there. Hi there. I'm not going to give you the visa, but I have a question.
Do you have a visa yet? I'm still paying very well for it. Some unique items you won't get anywhere else, including a lightsaber crystal.
Yeah, I'm not. Actually, I was wanting to talk to you about the murder.
I really can't be any help with that. I might have been in the same detention cell that night that Dagon's in now. The soldiers were asking me some entertaining questions that night. I've got no idea what was going on.
What were they questioning you about?
Let's just say I'm one of their usual suspects. Sort of comes with the territory. That's all I'm going to say.
Being an agent of the exchange. Duh. Okay, any more named people in here? Kif. You're an off-worlder, right? My name is Kif. Nice to see a friendly face. Isis has been a hostile place for our kind lately. I'd like to ask you about Captain Cilio's murder. I had the misfortune of being here that night. It's very inconvenient. Soldiers were asking me some very pointed questions, which is a no-no in my line of business. What exactly is your line of business? Oh no. I can tell you are no fan of the authority either. Let me share. Most call me a slicer, but I think that sounds too crass. Refer myself as an expert computer security analyst. I'm the only one in the city who's talented enough to make open starport visas from a personal visa. I was in the middle of a transaction that night. What do you want to know? Do you know Dagon Gent? I recognize him, but that's about it. He doesn't have the qualities I look for in friendship. Do you know any reason why Dagon Gent would kill the captain? I normally try to leave the cantina before the more serious drinkers arrive. That night, I was very near Dagon and Sulio. Dagon was attempting what I assume was a mating advance. It may not be human, but even I could tell his advances were particularly unwanted. Sulio then started swearing at him. Many of the words I'd never heard, but the ones I did understand, I assure you, were most impolite. Ah, humiliation on that scale is real motive for a passionate and deadly response. I told the soldiers as much. Interesting. How'd you know Dagon? It was just, okay, just recognize him. Ask you something else. A friend of a friend told me you're the guy I should talk to about adjusting starport visas. So you have a personalized visa you need me to make into an open one. It's a tricky process, but after many failures, I finally mastered it. 500 credits. Perhaps later. Perhaps later. Okay, so that updated the doctor's alibi. On the night the captain was unalived, it sounds like Dagon Gent made a pass at her. It was rejected violently. So let's talk to somebody. Wait, were you a name? Nope, you're just a waitress. Nico, do you have anything else?
Welcome back. My deck is still warm if you're up for Bazak.
I talk about
Foul
the
business,
thing.
that is. Like most nights, I was here.
Someone was saying that Sulio deeply humiliated Dagon the night she was murdered. That's a very good motive.
She did? Oh no, by the four moons, what a mix-up. They got it all wrong. Dagon and Sulio were good friends. It's just when they got a little too much Juma juice, they'd carry on. They'd call each other all manner of things. It could get quite hilarious, really. But it was just friendly banter. That night, Sulio was in great form. Dagon and I were laughing about some of the choicer ones later. Yellow-toothed dung dweller. We bought her a couple of drinks afterwards. It may look strange on the outside, but it was just their habit. Their way of passing time during these dark nights. Listen, if the soldiers think that's a motive, they just didn't do enough digging.
That bit of information will help with clearing Dagon, but the Onderon military won't let him off that easy. They're very obstinate. Maybe some of these people will know more about what happened that night.
What happened on the night of the murder?
I was cleaning up stakes from a particularly rewarding Pazat game when I heard a loud sound outside. I grabbed my blaster and went out the door. When I got out, I saw Captain Sulio. She was quite dead. Blood was everywhere. I heard a noise and saw Dagon Gent coming from his office across the courtyard. We both waited for the authorities to get there. The next day, they picked up Dagon and several other people in the area. It's crazy to think he did it. Sulio was our friend.
Where did you find the body?
Just outside the door by the junk heap.
It might be a good idea to look at the crime scene. We fought many soldiers in the Mandalorian Wars. The Onderonians were certainly brave, but they were disorganized and stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if they overlooked something.
Yeah, it's looking like they very much overlooked something. I'll be going. Okay, so he did them out of order, but we got it. It might be a good idea to check out the crime scene. Let's do so. Interesting that you two can still comment on my conversations even if I'm in solo mode. I remember seeing a jelly stain on the pavement over here. Looks like someone dropped some strawberry jam. Broken droid. This is the remains of a serving droid still clutching its serving tray. It has been heavily scavenged and its head is missing.
Nobody we talked with mentioned a droid. This droid was destroyed recently. Someone inside the cantina might know more.
Oh. We didn't find much of the crime scene except some dried blood and the remains of a droid that probably worked at the cantina. Someone in the canteen and I can give you some information. Interesting. I don't get why there's a whole bunch of piles of refuse out here, though. It's kind of weird. Okay, who would I talk to about a droid, though? I have no idea. I mean, you've been one of the most helpful, Nico. Let me ask you.
Welcome back. My deck is still...
Can I talk to you about the thing? I found a broken serving droid by the murder scene.
That would be Behemoth's SOD-2. No, SOD-3. Or is it 2? Whichever one it was, he keeps losing them. I remember when I arrived, it was still smoldering.
What happened to it?
Who knows? Sometimes the slum dwellers shoot his serving droids for fun. This part of the quarter is getting more and more lawless, I'm afraid. When Dagon and I were waiting for the soldiers, we had to chase off some scavengers that were stripping SOD-3.
Do you remember who scavenged the droid?
No, I'm afraid there was quite a crowd growing. We were seeing if there was any way we could help Sulio. There was nothing we could do, of course. She was dead.
They still haven't told us how she died. Explosion? Stab? blaster. But something about Bahima? What is it? What's his name? I've seen that name once before. Where is it? Ah, Bahima. There we go. Odds of death. I am Bahima, first-class bartender of this magnificent cantina. How may I help you, Sentient? Oh, multiple things to talk about. Can I talk with you about the murder that happened? This incident has brought me much distress. An unhappy thing it is, and bad for the flow of commerce. What is your interest in this, Sentient? An acquaintance of mine, Dagon Gent, is being questioned by the military. I'd like to get him free. Oh, as would I prize my loyal customers, and he is most regular. Let me structure my memories and recall the night. Ask your questions. Interesting. Ah, welcome back, Sword Ice Blade. I remember ya. Yes, it has been a while. How are you liking the new and improved KOTOR game? I don't know about new, considering it's almost 20 years old. Or no, yes, it is 20 years old. But I am really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. Do you know Dagon Gent? I know him very well. Menti Sentients look forward to bartenders for advice. On my world, they are sometimes sought for spiritual advice. This is a trust I try to honor. I found a broken serving droid by the murder scene. That would be SOD3. That's the third serving droid I've had this month. I hired a human to do the job. She's not very good, but at least she won't be stolen or destroyed as easily. Okay. What keeps happening to your serving droids? Recently, this area has become more dangerous. Vandalism and robbery are sadly common. My droids keep being stolen. D3 went missing that night. Captain Sulio was murdered. Sword Ice. I left a comment on the first KOTOR game you played about getting 4 speed. I hope the advice helped. Yes, your comment did help. It took me a little while to get around to picking up 4 speed in the first game, and then once I did, it helped greatly. Now I have it on this character. I just don't use it all too much because I don't necessarily need to, but 4 speed is a nice power. They recently became more dangerous. Droids keep being stolen. SOD3 went missing the night Captain Sulio was murdered. Why didn't you mention this before? I didn't know it would interest you. He was found near the body. I'm given to understand Nico would know more about that. I'd like to ask about something else. Oh, I thought I had another question. Okay, I'll be going. So asking Nico again?
Welcome back.
Talk about the murder. Broken serving droid.
SOD2.
What happened to it? Yep, we got that.
When Dagon and I were waiting for the soldiers, we had to chase off some scavengers that were stripping SOD3.
Yeah. You remember who scavenged the droid?
No, I'm afraid there was quite a crowd.
I'll be going. Okay, so that didn't help at all. But there was another option that Bahima had that I couldn't ask him. Hello, can I talk to you about the incident? Found a broken serving droid. That was his third droid. What happened to your serving droids? Wait. What? I hired a human to do the job. She's not very good, but at least she won't be stolen or destroyed as easily. What do you mean by that? Recently, this area has become more dangerous. Vandalism and robbery are sadly common. My droids keep being stolen. The droid went missing the night of the incident. Could you tell me how well you knew Dagon again? I knew him very well. Many sentients look towards bartenders for advice. Alright. He repeated that line. Yep. What keeps happening to your droids? We got that. I didn't mention this before. Talk about something else. Okay, so we've pretty much exhausted his options. Okay, this. He looks like a racer. Let me say hi. You swooper? Swoop, zoom, zoom. Much fun, go. I'll be going. Yep, very much a racer. Okay, so you can't help me anymore. Zart.
Good to see you again. Any luck with the visa?
Actually, I'd like to talk to you about the incident.
What do you want to know about that night?
An acquaintance, yes.
Dagon Gent didn't do
How can you be sure?
because
Tell the
it's
authorities.
quite simple. I'm afraid I was
Yep.
with Dagon and
Yep. Okay. No one else saw
we were taking
you.
great pains not. I only wish that
Assuming we get Dagon.
I don't particularly...
Okay, so nothing new there. Oh, let's talk to the waitress, wherever she is. She was mentioned once or twice. Hi there.
What do you want?
Do you know anything about Captain Sulio's murder?
Not really, I just started here. I have to get back to work.
Well, that didn't help. Named person in here. You're just a thug. You're a thug. You're a thug. Hanar.
This room is reserved, off-worlder.
I'd like to talk about Captain Sulio's murder.
If you ask me, she got what she deserved. She looked down on us beast riders. Good riddance.
Do you know Dagon Gent?
I know his face, that's about it. His office is on Beckel's turf.
Who is Bakel?
She's a beast rider like me and our leader. You better never be speaking ill of her, or else.
I was just asking who she was. Chill. I found a broken serving droid by the murder scene.
That Bith keeps buying droids, and the scavengers keep stealing them or blowing them up. Seems he's finally given up. Waitress is awful, but she's more fun than his droids ever were.
Any idea of which scavenger got to his droid?
I wouldn't tell you even if I knew. I could tell you where you could find the parts, though.
You know that? Where?
That western square has the perfect fence for droid parts. There is a droid vendor called 1B8D. That droid is as dumb as a Gamorrean. He'll buy anything because he's too stupid to do anything else. 1B8D is quite handy. Quite a few of the slum dwellers make a good living salvaging droid parts for him. You might have even bought some.
Ah, okay, we finally got a lead. I'll be going. So the droid vendor. Hey, dude, come on. Okay, so the droid vendor is out this way, if I remember correctly. Okay, where was that? Where was the droid? I remember him being...
I won't remain silent any longer. The Republic
Uh-oh.
has actively attacked us. They attack our spaceships unprovoked. What next? An invasion? Perhaps they seek to conquer us. Will you stand idly by? Will you let them bomb our city? No! If Queen Talia is so removed that she won't do what the people so clearly want, then we must show her with force.
That's it, Ponlar. We're taking you in. You've gone too far.
Brothers and sisters, let us rise up now and march to the palace. Our will cannot be denied.
Oh, there's multiple ways we can go here. A force persuade. Or persuade in two different ways. Don't do this, Ponlar. This will not help your cause. Innocents will die.
Sacrifices are inevitable, but it is the price of change.
Nope. Wow. I have max persuasion and even that didn't work. Okay, force persuade. You'll go quietly, Ponlar.
I will not. My cause is just. The Queen must bow to our will.
Force persuade again. Tell everyone to stop now.
My head. Everyone stop now. I will go quietly.
I don't know what you did, but thank you, Offworlder. That was too close for me.
Yeah, I don't want a riot starting as I'm trying to investigate stuff. That's like the worst thing possible. Okay, is this the... This is the merchant quarter. No, I needed to go to the other side, I think. Sword Ice, kind of wish I joined you back when you were earlier in the game because I needed to tell you that you can turn most of your organic companions into... Oh! Into Jedi. A little spoilery, but I kind of got that sense with a few of them. I did turn Atten into a Force user, and I thought you could do that with others as well eventually. There he is. But you were on the other side, dude.
I am 1B8D, an automated droid vendor. I have in stock a variety of quality droid components, no refunds, and no haggling. Do you have any interest in my goods?
1B8D, I need to know if you have any parts from one of Bahima's serving droids.
Entity Bahima unknown. I have many serving droid parts.
I want to buy those parts?
The market rate for those parts would be 25 credits.
Here's 25 credits.
Thank you for your business.
Kif and the cantina can probably do something with this. We should head back.
Kif. Remnants of SOD3. Kif. Ah, he was the Twi'lek, if I remember. Ah, Blade, this is one of your favorite planets, by the way. Love the story arc. It's fun so far. It's kind of interesting. You have the two political sides very much at each other's throats as you're trying to investigate a murder. So far, very well done.